Hi YouTube, I'm Tori, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my moldavite. Hey guys, it's Tori, and today I am going to be talking about my moldavite experience, which has been a crazy one to say the least, so I hope you enjoy. Basically, if you guys don't know about moldavite, I'll give you a little background information on it. It is a tektite, it's called. It's not a stone, it's not a crystal, although a lot of people call it as it is. It is formed from when a meteor hit the Czech Republic, and when this meteor hit the Czech Republic, it hit it at such a high temperature and such a high speed that it created this glass called moldavite. And people have said, that moldavite, it will switch your life around completely, basically. And that's because of the vibration that it has to it. Because it is technically from outer space, not from outer space, but minerals in it are from outer space. So because of that, it has a higher vibration than a lot of the stones that we have here on Earth. Not saying that it's the highest vibrational stone, but it does have a very high vibration. So switch around their lives, it takes people out of their lives, it's insane because of the fact that its vibration is so high. If you're down here and you get moldavite, which is like up here, it's gonna just skyrocket you up, and it doesn't really give you time to adjust. It just skyrockets you. So, and a lot of people say that this stone will help find your life purpose, which I completely agree with that statement. I think this stone has changed my perspectives about life in the most insane way possible, and it's beautiful. It's truly beautiful what this stone has done for me. But if you're not ready for that kind of healing, and you're not ready to undergo so much change, I definitely wouldn't get it. Use this stone as a tool for spiritual work, for sure. But beware, be cautious of the things that the stone can do. If you are it doesn't necessarily always let you be comfortable. And I mean, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. So there's, the intern with that, but it's wild. Okay, I'll stop jabbering on about the stone and tell you my actual story, I guess, now. So I first got this stone. I actually have a necklace that's moldavite as well now too. But I actually got this stone kind of when it blew up on TikTok. I know. I followed the trend. I know. But all is well because what it's done for me. But I basically got this stone because of TikTok, and I ordered it on Etsy from a shop called Moldavite Life. So I knew it was authentic. It was a moldavite seller. To me, this is probably as real. It's not shiny, it's got bubbles in it, it's as authentic as I could have probably found it. But when I first got this stone, it came in the mail, and the day that it came in the mail, I was actually moving out of my house, which was insane in the first part. I was trying to pack up all of my stuff to move out of my childhood home, mind you. My childhood home, the home that I have grown up in my whole entire life. Literally my whole entire life I spent inside this house. And I was trying to pack up my things, trying to pack up my clothes, everything in my room. I'm going to college. I was just trying to move out of my house and get my shit done. And I couldn't. For some reason, I couldn't. I like had literal zero motivation to move out of my house. And like, you'd think like, oh, you're going to college, like you should be excited. Right, that'd be normal. But I couldn't move. I was just like procrastinating the whole day. I was stuck almost. And then I went and checked my mail, and the stone was in my mail. And I'd been waiting for it. I was really excited for it to come in, you know, see the effects that it has. I have many other crystals, obviously. I'm pretty spiritual, so. And I was just waiting for this stone to go in. And then it finally came in the day I was moving. So that's a frickin' synchronicity in itself. And I took the stone out and I held it, and I was like, I felt something. And like, I feel it right now. It's like this warmth that is internally like within the stone. It's just like, it was a warm feeling of the stone on my hand. And like, I guess you definitely have to believe that it has energy for you to feel that, because I've had friends like pick it up and they're like, oh my god, like I don't feel anything. I'm like, well, yeah, you don't, like, you're not spiritual, you're probably not gonna feel anything. But I as soon as I picked up the stone, it was like I felt something. And then I went back inside, and I was just, that whole day, it was like it feels like it was so long ago, and it was only like 2 or 3 months ago. For time reference, I got it probably end of August, like probably August. I moved into my apartment on like the 20-something. So it was like the second to last week of August, and it is November, what's the date? It's November 9th today. So I've had it for a good few months. But I feel like that it was so long ago that I got this stone. And I was just sitting there like with the stone in my hand in my room. And then I finally was like, okay, I have to get up. I have to start doing stuff. I know I'm excited about the stone, but I gotta start doing stuff. And then like something lit under me, and I packed up everything in my room, and it was like easy, you know. I mean, like, moving's obviously a process, so I didn't pack up every single thing, but like the weight that I had felt before was just gone. And then I'm sitting there with everything packed in my room on the floor with this thing in my hand, and I just started crying. I just started bawling. Okay, like literally bawling my eyes out. Just bawling my fucking eyes out. And like, I was thinking about my dad. I lived with my dad like my whole life, basically. My mom, she's a doctor, and she went on her residency when I was young and lived out of state for me. So like, it was just really crazy. Like, my dad, I'm moving out of my house, my childhood home. I've lived there forever. And I just started crying. Just like literally weeping. Like crying, weeping. Like full on waterworks, like everything. Just crying. And I just sat there and cried for like a good 30 minutes. And then when I was done, I was like, okay, all right. I thought about everything, like leaving my dad, leaving my hometown to go to college. You know, it was like a really crazy, bittersweet ending in my life. Like, I was like, I had just started, I'm starting a new chapter in my life, and I started this new chapter with this stone. That in itself freaking is crazy to me. And I remember just going back and forth to the apartment the rest of the day, moving in, moving out, and I ended up going back home and spending the night back at home. And I was just watching more videos on moldavite. I was kind of just sitting there, and I was just like feeling like insane. Like I'm trying to like think of the words that I was feeling like that day. I remember it so well. It was just a really bittersweet, profounding feeling that I had that whole rest of the day. And it was just crazy. It was crazy. And like the whole thing of getting my apartment too, this apartment that I'm in right now, is insane. I feel like the universe blessed me with it because I was looking for a roommate for so long, and I was so worried because I was supposed to go in the dorms, but COVID was going on, so I didn't want to end up getting accidentally sent home. So I'm scrambling looking for an apartment before I got this stone, and like everything was just coming together, and it was really odd. It was just really odd how everything came together. Like, we got all our furniture moved in here, which we like barely paid anything for any of the furniture that we bought because most of it we already had and put things together. It just had felt like everything was falling into place for once in my life, and I was just really profound. The whole feeling, it was just really, really profound. Before I got moldavite as well, I had met this guy, and we were, you know, talking, and I had felt this connection with this guy. I don't think he felt it as much as I did, or if he did, he didn't really talk much about it. I was definitely more of like a fling for him, which kind of sucked, but I'm grateful, obviously. Because the realizations I've had with this stone too, like I was going through probably the same thing happening over and over and over again, just with different dudes. Like this dude in particular, I still think about him a lot, which probably not great, but we're slowly learning. So basically, yeah, ending situationship with this guy. And it took me a really long time to realize, like, you know, like, why couldn't I be with him? Why did it have to go south like that? You know, at the beginning of us talking and, you know, when we hung out, like, the connection was there, and I was just like, why the heck did this have to end? And I learned because of what I was doing in the relationship, and that I was giving too much. And the stone, the realization of living every day and reflecting on all that, of the same thing happening over and over and over again, just with different dudes, it made me realize probably the biggest karmic lesson I have been learning when it comes to guys, and that is the fact that I don't always set boundaries for myself, and I give my energy a little too easily. And I fall a little bit too easily. You know, there's nothing wrong with being passionate about someone, but I fell way too easily for guys. And it took me going through 5 or 6 guys, and then this final one, to really realize that. And I thank this stone because through this reflection of realizing that, I had this stone with me, and I would meditate with this stone. I would, you know, I carried this stone with me almost everywhere I went. And like, I'm still learning when it comes to love right now, you know? But I'm at peace. I'm at peace with my love life, and I was, you know, another thing this stone taught me, you know, you have to make yourself happy no matter what. Like, I based my happiness off of being in a relationship with someone, and that was not okay. It was not okay. Yeah, it made me go through some crazy realizations. Like, not as much happened physically, but like mentally flip my whole world around of the way I even perceive love now. Like, the person that I was when I got this stone is not the person that I am now. And that's wild in itself. In the matter of 3 months, the insane amount of growth that I have accomplished just mind boggles me. It really mind boggles me. So yeah, learned the I was like, I'm still at a loss for words of how much this stone has made me realize. It's hard to even put it into words sometimes, you know, of just how the stone has affected me. And, you know, I've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of really, really awesome people. And through all the people that I've met, I've come to slowly put this picture together of kind of where I was in terms of lessons in love. So that's another thing, I guess, that kind of happened. It happened a little bit after I got moldavite. Overall, though, I was doing pretty well, you know, just living in my apartment. I've found contentness in just what I'm doing, which, you know, has been college, doing my schoolwork, meeting so many new people. It did definitely change my life a lot. It did. It changed my life a lot. For sure. I don't think I would just be at the level of contentness I am without having this stone. So, but then the next thing happens, okay? The next thing happens. Forgot to add in this really crazy story that happened one time. So like I said, I meditate with my moldavite all the time. That's like what I do. I carry my moldavite with me. If I have it on my neck or my actual stone with me, I meditate with it a lot. And I was meditating before bed. It was a Pisces full moon. And if you know full moons, it might have been a new moon. It was a new moon. It was a new moon. It was not a full moon. It was a new moon, which if you're into moon phases, you know that means a big difference. So learning this karmic lesson about this dude and about my life, not about the dude, but about my life and what this dude has like made me learn. So I go to bed on the Pisces full moon. I posted on my Snapchat, you know, like, or new moon, not full moon, sorry. Posted, you know, like a little bit about Pisces. Pisces is the dreamer sign, so like, you know, pay attention to your dreams that night. And that night, I had the most intense dream about this guy. And I was like, this is really fucking weird. But that night, I fell asleep with the moldavite in my hand while I was meditating, okay? I fell asleep with it in my hand while I was meditating, and then had one of the most intense dreams about this guy. And, you know, I woke up in the middle of the night. That's where I was. I woke up in the middle of the night. The moldavite was still in my hand, okay? That's how I know I fell asleep with it in my hand. It was still in my hand. Woke up in the middle of the dream, okay? I put my moldavite away. And in the middle of the night, I'm like, you know, I put it on the counter. I'm like, okay, I probably shouldn't be holding on to this. I'm trying to sleep, you know, not thinking anything of it. But I'm like, okay, that dream was really intense. Like, not necessarily thinking in my like whole logical perception at that point. I'm like half asleep, half up. So I go back to sleep. Moldavite's on my bedside table. When I fall back asleep, I went right into the same dream that I was having before about this guy. And literally, what? Like, what? What? Wild. Absolutely freaking wild. Flabbergasted me. And that's another reason, like, how I came to terms with this whole lesson I was learning for guys in my head, because of like things like that was happening. Like, weird stuff was happening, like the synchronicities that I would see on a daily basis, just what I was doing, how I was living. I was so motivated in a way. I was grinding, doing good in school, you know, working out a lot. Yeah, and like I had this crazy ass dream about this guy, and I was like, what do I do now? You know, I can't have this dude, but like I'm dreaming about him, like, because I'm holding the stone as I'm going to bed, like having intense dreams. And like because of the stone, I realized, oh, this is because I'm healing. This is what this healing work is doing. This stone is confronting me with all the pain that this guy caused me, and it's like throwing it in my face. And it's like, yeah, you wish you had this, you know, beautiful, perfect ending with this guy, but like that's not what's happening in reality. And it, like, literally as soon as I got the stone due, me and this dude like cut it off. Like, we stopped talking. Forgot to add that in earlier. Yeah, crazy dream. And like things would happen like that all the time, just like weird stuff, really weird stuff. I wish I had like more memories to like pull up, but that was obviously one of the most like significant things like that had happened like internally. Moving on. About a month ago, I was on my way to work, and I think this was a blessing in disguise from the universe, but I had rear-ended someone. I rear-ended them right in front of a church. Like, literally right in front of a church. Like, I had to pull into the church parking lot when the police came, obviously, to report the accident, because my car was totaled. So yeah, totaled my car. And I loved this car. I truly loved this car. I had this car. I bought it for myself about a year ago. It was my first car that I had bought for myself, and I totaled it. And I'd worked it out, you know, got my money from the insurance company from the car. I ended up keeping the car, selling it to somebody else, you know, made a few extra $100 off it. You know, I was in the midst for looking for a new car. And I had a little bit of money saved up too, so I had about 10 grand to save up, like, to spend on a car. And then, you know, it took a couple weeks, me and my dad looking frantically for a new car, so I didn't have to drive his second car around all the time. And we're looking, and we find this one car, and it was a 2015 for 10 grand. Exactly what I was looking for, like almost a brand new freaking car for an insanely low price. And we were like, oh my God, like this doesn't happen all the time. End up buying the car, obviously. It's my new car now. But like, tell me how I get into an accident and that's my fault. My fault in the first place. I mean, like, obviously I had to pay for like the ticket, you know, deductible, all that fun stuff. But I get into an accident and I get almost a brand new car out of this whole experience. Like, what? I get a almost brand new car. And not to mention, by this point in time in my life, from everything that I'd experienced, from love to friendships. Like, I was a different person that I was when I was living at home, even from just like a month of moving out of my house. And it almost was like me wrecking that car was like me killing my old self and letting it go. You know, it was like a shedding of a skin in a symbolistic way, I guess. It was like I was a new person. Like, I got a new car and it symbolized me becoming a new human being with new perspectives about how I saw the world, how I saw love, how I looked at everything. And it, like, weird stuff happens to me all the time. Like, I live a crazy life, and you guys effingly just heard the train that goes right across from my house, from my apartment. But yeah, like, I got into an accident and it worked out. And another crazy thing, the woman that I hit actually works for my college. She does a lot of the things with the school that I go to. So introduced myself to her not in the greatest way possible. I mean, like, I try to be as nice of a human as I possibly can be. So, like, I texted her afterwards. I was like, I just want to make sure you're okay, because she didn't have, like, serious, like, damages to her, but, like, she definitely, was in pain. So, like, I felt terrible at being, like, the empathic person that I am. So met her throughout that, which was another crazy thing, another weird synchronicity. But, like, weird stuff has happened to me since I've got this stone. And like I said before, it feels like it was so long ago. Like, it feels like forever ago that I got this stone. And I think part of the reason that is because I've gone through so much healing because I got this stone. Like, so much healing. I was also, when I got this stone, I was going through kind of a spat with my mother. Me and her have always had a rough relationship. And after I got the stone, we started talking again. Just like, I just am trying to put it all into words of all that this stone has brought me. And one thing that it has brought me is happiness. I, for so long, was so set on, hoping that a guy would bring me happiness, that if I had this, I would be happy. If I had this, I would be happy. And in reality, that's not the truth. Like, you can feel the same sadness, I went through a definite period of sadness even when I moved in here, when I moved into college. And I thank moldavite for all, like, mentally it's done for me. I truly am so content with the life that I live because I thank moldavite. It's just made me go through so much spiritual healing work, and I'm still currently meeting people. Maybe I'll do a part 2 update, a few more months down the road and kind of see where it's brought me. But I'm looking back on it, like, even just making this video, and I'm like, holy crap. Like, just holy crap. It's insane. Like, I've come from such a place that holds so much gratitude for everything. Like, I just look at the world and I am just so grateful and happy to be here because I think moldavite showed me how to do that. And for a long time when I was, you know, in high school before COVID hit, even while COVID was going on, I was just unhappy. I was so unhappy, and I tried to tell myself that I was, and I wasn't. I felt hollow. I felt hollow. Like I was just there going through the motions of everyday life, you know, trying to make something of myself. But now I look at things and it's like they have meaning. And part of that was moldavite made me realize how much I put meaning into things, but I'm forever grateful for this stone, you know, like it, you know, people say don't get this stone if you're not ready, and yeah, I fully agree with that. Do not get this stone if you're not ready. But if you want to be the best that you can be, if you want to develop as, you know, into the person that you want to be, that you're meant to be, you know, with your highest self, definitely get moldavite. Definitely let it take you on this journey, because it has been one of the most amazing journeys that I've gotten to be on. And my whole life has been a journey. My whole life has been a crazy, crazy experience, and this just makes things make sense to me. I can finally wrap my head and get clarification on the things in my life that I never really got to before. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna end the video here. I hope that you guys all really enjoyed this. My best advice, if you're ready for it, get it, do it, because you won't look back. Once you get it, you won't look back. So thank you for watching my video. I will leave my social medias in the comments, not in the comments, in the description of the video. If you guys maybe want to subscribe, that'd be really awesome. I'd love to make more videos, spiritual videos, you know, more videos in general. I think that'd be a really cool, fun thing to do, and I just want to know that if I do, I'm gonna have support from someone. So if you want to give this video a thumbs up, it would mean literally the world to me. Like, you guys have no clue how much, like, that little gesture, like, fills me up inside. So thank you for watching. If you're still watching to this point in the video, I hope you have the most wonderful day, year. I hope you have the most wonderful moldavite experience if this influences you to get some moldavite. So bye guys.